Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. We care about the climate.
Back into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. That's the OG one. What? Who's sing? Is it Gene? Somebody? Who's that? Juicy. That was the jam back in the day. And then of course it was sampled by Miss Jones and AZ, and somebody else sampled it too. But yeah. The who? AZ. Oh, I said AG. AZ and Miss Jones, though, weren't they on it together? Wasn't she singing the hook on it? Yeah. So, but the OG, you know.
Sugar Hill.
The Sugar Hill soundtrack, right?
No, that was the name of the song from AZ
from There's
and
a Thing, yeah.
Sugar Hill.
It sure was. What was that, like 93? Something like that.
I'm going to say 95.
Maybe 95?
One of them.
Somewhere.
Early 90s.
Early 90s for sure, right. A bop indeed. All right, well, welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Forensic Accountant says Sugar Free is the top 10 coldest bass lines of all time. I feel that. You know what else is that is not an R&B song, but I'm going to drop it in there. Seven Nation Army, White Stripes. Check into it and get back to me. I promise it is one of those ones. What else? There's a couple. I love a good bass. We all do. It's in our spirits. Look, you are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Of course, we're talking trending topics and headlines. We've been talking about the Grammys a lot tonight and the various awards that did or did not happen, the moments that took place in the show, and the conversation that has developed around from it. Andy, you looking it up? I want to hear, when you listen to it, I want to know what you think. Forensic Accountant says Tarsha Jones was super fine in the One More Chance video. Miss Jones did look nice in that video. All the ladies did. That was big at that time. Who else was in there? Mary. There it is. Dun, 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 dun. Mm-hmm.
They play a lot of this at sporting events.
Exactly, they do. This is like, I think this was late 90s, this drop, something like that. This is one of those ones for me. So, we talking baseline. That's one of those ones. So, shout out to the White Stripes, man. Check this out. I'm going to stop saying I've been saying that a lot tonight. Trying to find my place. Ice Spice. So we have talked a great deal about performance or lack thereof from today's, not just women, but across the board, some of our younger stars. They don't have the same chops that we have seen from prior generations, right? Well, there's been a lot of conversation about Ice Spice. She performed, I think it was at a Spotify event. She also performed at Clive Davis's event on Saturday night. Now, first of all, there has been a bit of controversy about her latest single. It's called Fart. And, people just think it's a little vapid, a little empty. It's for the kids. They get it. I get that aspect of it. But the question is, how long can we be entertained by Ice Spice? Granted, male rappers have done this forever, but just kind of walking the stage and then busting out a twerk every 2 seconds or so. Obviously, that works with the younger crowd. They're going to go up. That's what they're waiting for. But when you saw some of the clips from her performing for Clive Davis, she wasn't able to switch it up a little bit or give something a little bit different with a different audience. So obviously, it caused a lot of people to have some commentary. Andy?
How long was her set?
Not too long. I mean, she only has, 3 or 4 songs, so maybe 10, 15 minutes. But
if it's that long, then I'm not really expecting a lot of hoopla.
I don't think she has to do a 2 count, but I do think that she could step up her stage presence a little bit, right? And so here's the thing. A woman, as they always do, a social media commentator, right? She saw the video of Ice Spice and she tweeted out, her name is Sunshine J. La Cosiana on X. And she said, either let her work with someone who can help her with her performance and stage presence or send her back to the Bronx, please. Now, I should be clear, she did not at Ice Spice. There was some video of her performance in there, but she didn't add her. She didn't even put her name in it, right? But somehow, this made its way to Ice Spice. So Ice Spice decided to retweet the young lady, who is a very attractive woman, but, she's a plus-size curvy girl. And so Ice Spice's response was, well, while we're being constructive, ... So when we come forward, I will tell you about the reaction to Ice Spice's reaction, because she didn't get the reaction she probably was hoping for. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580, where climate is king. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, you are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen, my bad, y'all. So we were talking Ice Spice and her performance and the critique that a social media user had. So what I want to emphasize is that they didn't add her, okay? She had to go look for this commentary. And like I mentioned, the young lady, attractive woman, just a little plus size. And Ice Spice thought, I guess, that she was going to eat with that. Well, the fans, the response was not too kind. And they really went in on her a little bit. Of course, you know, she had her defenders as well. But it begs the question, right? What is wrong with saying you need to step your performance game up a little bit? I understand she's for the kids, but at a certain point, they're going to get tired too. And it's not as if she is the only female rap artist that has been told she needs to step her game up. Sweetie was told the same, right? And she pulled it together. The City Girls were told, and they got on their good foot, got some choreography. I'm sure the man who cannot be named right now probably had a little bit to help them with that, but they stepped their game up. Coily Ray, she was another one that had some issues with her stage performance. Did she go and get Tiana Taylor too? Summer Walker, another one that doesn't do a whole lot, you know, claimed to have stage fright, but still managed to make some improvements to her show. So I think that it is not out of the realm of reasonable requests to ask Ice Spice to put a little bit more effort in. Her songs are already a little sing-songy, and once again, They're not for everybody. They do attract a certain age range, and that's cool, but give us a little bit of something in your performances. People are paying a lot of money for live experiences nowadays, and that's not going to cut it. It's just not. Also, it should be, since I mentioned the City Girls, JT dropped a single over the weekend, and it is currently sitting at number 2 behind Hiss, Megan Thee Stallion. You know, there's some controversy about both Hiss and Nicki Minaj's Bigfoot because they allowed the tracks to be, you know, kind of open source so people could put their own remix, their own flip to that. And some of that is, once again, gaming the system, the streaming system a little bit, and how they have been able to go number 1 with several different versions of the song. I have no opinion on if it's fair that they are allowed to use different versions in that manner. I say if people want to hear it and are still interested, I think about the fact that that is how we got the Beyonce Cuff It Wetter version, just because somebody, you know, thought, hey, this would sound really good. And that went up for a lot of people. So shout out to them. Listen, the girls are still fighting, very much so. And by the girls, I'm talking about the rap girlies. I told you that JT dropped a single. Young Miami dropped a teaser for, I'm not really sure what. She said she's about to go in her Yams era. I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is her way of a stat. We know she has a reality show coming with BET Plus, and I'm sure she wants to put a little bit of space between all things that were closely related to Diddy, because that look isn't the same as it was 2 years ago when they dropped down into this. So she dropped the teaser. It's called Yams. She said she's in her Yams era, and she put up the little Yams emoji. So clearly it's a group participation thing, and we will see what comes to pass with that. In addition to that, listen, Ice Spice also has fever for Lotto. She got on Spaces, which on X is kind of like Clubhouse, but it's just for X, and was remarking about some snippet that Lotto put out, that some video or whatever, Ice Spice was in the background. So, you know, it's drama, it's beef. Lotto dropped a teaser for her new single that's coming out, and Ice Spice is again one of the girls on the background, eyes blacked out. But it's not just Ice Spice. Nicki Minaj is on there. But before you go thinking that it's about beef, there's also pictures of Lil' Kim, Missy Elliott, looks like it might be Tiny, and a couple of others. So I think, though, people are preparing for it to be a diss track. It's dropping on Friday. I think it's really going to be about female rap unity and, you know, how everybody has their place or something like that. That's what I think, because Lotto is also out in front with her eyes blacked out in this particular artwork. So I don't think people are like, ooh, it's a diss, and why would she put this person on there? I think it's clearly obvious she is going for the unification point. So we will obviously have to wait and see what that looks like. But I don't think it's a bad move per se. Kind of counterintuitive to what people would think would be happening from Lotto, who has had crazy beef with Nicki and Ice Spice over the, you know, course of things. Although, if we're being honest, right, just purely from a spitting battle for battle, bar for bar perspective, I feel like Ice Spice doesn't really want the smoke with Lotto. And she should just let that go, you know, and let it go nicely. But we'll have to see what actually comes to pass with that. And, you know, of course, social media won't let up, so neither will we. Side note, I mentioned JT's single. It's called Sideways, and it has the second spot on the top 25 chart. And, do we think we're about to see the end of the City Girls? the breakup? And do people really, really care? I mean, here's the thing. We know that lyrically, JT is the superior one, and she is more into the art and craft of it. Young Miami was just popping. And so, but she said that one of the things in the Yams trailer, she was recording new music. So we'll have to see. It's a lot out there to choose from, right? So we'll have to see if she delivers the goods. Anything can happen. We will certainly see. Lotto's single is called Sunday Service, but it's dropping on Friday. So make sure, you're locked in for that. Listen, we have to continue talking about our female rappers really quickly. We have to say congratulations to Sexy Red. She has had her new baby, right? And she dropped some photos on IG fresh from the hospital. Well, I shouldn't even say fresh in the hospital. She's still in the hospital, still in her gown. She's getting her wig laid in the hospital room. She took some, pictures some might find inappropriate, right? But it is what it is. Go check out Sexy with 2 Y's, remember Red. Go check out her social media and see how you feel about Sexy Red's post-delivery photo shoot, okay? Still got the bracelet on and everything. She put a little star on the baby's face and the little, what is it, bassinet that they give you in the hospital room? Yeah, so go check those out. And, speaking of odd behavior, inappropriate behavior, we've mentioned Krishan Rock on this show, but I don't get into too much of Krishan Rock and Blueface because they crazy and it's just toxic and we're just going to go back and forth. You know that she got her tattoo of Blueface covered up that she had on her neck only to turn around and get a tattoo of him on her face. I'm sorry, I'm not for face tattoos in any capacity, male or female. Why are you messing up your beautiful face? I'm definitely not putting a man's face on my cheek. I just, what kind of, witchcraft is that? What part of the game is that? Don't see it. Well, Krishan's not the only one that wanted to show her love for a man with a tattoo of his face on their face. You guys know who Selena Powell is? Selena Powell is a young lady who has been linked to many a rapper, a ball player, putting them in some interesting positions, sometimes lying, just a lot of things. She used to date academics. Well, currently she is dating, oh my God, what is the guy's name? Put that ish on. The football player. AB, right. I kept wanted to say AD. Antonio Brown. I kept wanting to say AD, but it was AB. So apparently Selena and Antonio are dating. Now, that's a toxic connection in my opinion, if I ever heard of one. Well, guess what she did? She now has Antonio's face tattooed on her face. Listen, you can do what you want. I understand showing love and loyalty. However, be for real. I really, I know that they're not but I really hope that it's just like a really good fool judge. They just put the test copy up there, whatever, the outline. What is it called when they put the tattoo on before they give it to you? The stencil, when they outline it. Maybe they're fake. I just, on your face, forever and ever, on your face. I don't know. I do not think either one of those men is doing, well, clearly they are, but girl, good luck with that. Ladies, enjoy. So I don't know where we're headed as far as female rep. We have a lot of options out there, right? We have a lot of performers, and I do appreciate that. But you guys are going to have to step your performances up, step your cookies up, because we got options. And as we see, look, Ice Spice is still the one, but is she? Is she? Are they talking about her as much as they were? And what about Glorilla? You know what I'm saying? They'll cycle you through, ladies. So find some staying power. All right. January and February have already started out to be crazy. Of course, in January, the line of the month was, and maybe I'll start tracking this, I don't know. These are just my opinions, you know, not for you to take too seriously. But in January, the line of the month for me was, you have an unnatural allegiance to losers, right? That's how we started the month. On the 4th, right? January 4th. And then come February 4th, we have Jay-Z saying, a lot of y'all not supposed to be here. Listen, January, February, excuse me, those are my 2 lines of the month. Because, you know, we said that 2024 is coming in as the era of truth. And clearly a lot of people have a lot of opinions that they want to bring out and let us have it. So shout out to them. Really quickly, I know that SZA won some awards last night, but in an interview that she did with Rolling Stone in August, where she was talking about the Grammy Awards, it was something that was kind of matching up with things that some of the other award winners were saying. She said, it's not normal. I hate that naysayers be acting like this stuff is normal and nobody talks about it at all. Think about it, having to smile, interview, and even sing through some of the stiffest competition you'll ever face. The Grammy room is one of the weirdest rooms ever. There is so much wanting in there, wanting to be noticed, wanting to be liked, acknowledged, wanting to win, wanting to just be amongst the people in that room, wanting to feel valuable or validated. All of us are in there striving for something. It means something. Even though this isn't everything, but it's kind of important that I'm here. It kind of matters. So we talked a little bit about why, even though we say it doesn't matter, we're still concerned. I think that SZA's words kind of tie it up. It's the natural competitiveness sometimes of artists. It is the wanting to be acknowledged for our hard work, all of that, and then some. So once again, though, congratulations to all the winners. And, you know, there's always next year. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines. Obviously, we have a couple of sports things to get into. I know I've been skipping around them, but you know I got them tucked in the chamber. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The prosecutor behind Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case is responding to allegations of misconduct. Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis, in a court filing, admitted she had a personal relationship with an outside prosecutor she appointed to manage the case against the former president. The defendants in the case accused Willis, who is black, of benefiting financially by hiring special prosecutor Nathan Wade, her alleged romantic partner, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and want the case to be dismissed. Willis said there is no evidence the relationship prejudiced the case. A hearing on the allegations is set for February 15th. AMC Theaters is offering audiences discounted tickets to celebrate Black History Month. This month, the $5 Fan Faves program will return to AMC, and theaters will offer 2 daily showings of certain films for $5 a ticket. Each week will have a different select movie with discounted tickets. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024 and beyond. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We're for Washington. We love Febrez's new scent.
Refresh and energize.
So much we made a song about it.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for all state auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Stayed awake half the night. Love was just what you the changes. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. It must be love that's on your mind. You doing things you wouldn't before. You wanna know that love will make you so happy. Inside. I try to control it, but it just takes me over. Love will make you so sad. Make you cry. Changes. Love changes. Ooh, love changes. That's what love puts you through. Love changes. Ooh, love changes. Love changes. Ooh, love changes. Love makes one new. Changes.
Welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. You better get into that good Kashif and Melissa Morgan. Love changes. Come on, I love an 80s bop. Synthesizers going. Forensic accountant says, I prefer the original. Shout out to Joyce Kennedy and Mother's Finest. That's cool. We like all things. No, I'm just lying. Listen, that Kashif and Melissa Morgan, that's it. Don't downplay it. Love that too. Andy.
Back when I was an Uber driver, I always had 80s R&B playing. And you'd be surprised by the other cultures that was in love with this. Had me tripped out every time. I mean, I felt like 80s R&B was like just the perfect, music for anybody to come in and not feel like, oh, don't nobody want to hear that rap or anything like that. But I was just amazed by, I'm going to just say it up front, man. It was a lot of, especially white women, they was rocking with 80s R&B just big time. So, when I hear tracks like that, it just brings me back to my Uber days.
Listen, that was a bop and a half. And I see that. I so believe that because I think I shared the story a few years ago. I went to Greece, and in all, like, whenever we would hit one of the hot clubs, right, they would play all different types of music. But one of the songs that, like, everybody would go crazy for, big hit, it was a remake version of it, but they would play the original sometimes. Eddie Murphy and Rick James, Party All the Time. And the club would go up. It was like, oh, this is the song. It's crazy. It was really kind of crazy. You're like, what is happening here? But, I mean, listen, 80s R&B felt good. That is what we call timeless classics. Things that just keep going and keep going and keep going. Like, again, no shade, no tea. It's going to be important to somebody. But that fart song, nobody's going to be bumping that like this was the classic. I'm not saying they won't still listen to it. I'm not saying it won't still hold some value, but Urban Spencer said, I just had a younger Latino Lyft driver playing 80s pop. Said he likes 80s films. Oh, I can't read. Said he likes 80s films too. I put him on to Beat Street and Breakin'. Man, and you should have added Crush Groove to that list, because Crush Groove kind of had a little, nice little soundtrack. LL coming in there performing I Need a Radio, Sheila E., Love Bazaar, Holly Rock. Run DMC's stuff wasn't featured on the soundtrack for that, but they were the Fat Boys. Fat Boys. Dunna. Andy.
Well, never mind.
What? Go.
I got the movie now.
Oh.
I was trying to figure out, because, Beat Street Breaking, and you mentioned Crush Girls, and I was thinking, what is that school movie? You know what I'm saying? Where they were talking about a lot of colorism and stuff like that. That was School Days, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just had to make sure.
Yep, School Days. So, love a good soundtrack, huh? Love hip hop. Here's the thing, as we talk about the lack of performance and where they need to step it up, I am actually excited right now when you think about the fact that we have legit 5 to 10 female MCs. I don't recall a time when it's been like that, where, they all have some motion going. Obviously, we know who the top dogs are: Nicki, Cardi, Megan, Lotto just coming up underneath, whatever. But I think it is exciting that we kind of have a variety. Somewhat. I'm waiting for the LA one to swoop down. I've been talking about that.
I'm with you too. I mean, I like the females holding it down for hip hop, but can we be honest?
Okay.
Are any of them moving the needle?
In what way?
I guess just captivation. I know that's just such a broad term, but it's like, even with the whole Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj beef, to me it didn't feel like it moved mountains. Like, right? When Biggie and Pac was going at it, moved mountains. Hell, when 50 and Ja was going at it, moved mountains. When DJ Quick and MC8 was going at it, it moved mountains. This right here, Megan and Nicki, I know that's not indicative of their artistry and the music that they present individually, but I just don't know.
I think Megan moved the needle 3 years ago for, coming out of the pandemic, hot girl summer, hotties.
I'm with you.
All of that.
Well, she lost steam then.
She has lost steam. I think that we have seen needle moving moments, but not sustained momentum. It's almost like that they're running a track meet where they're handing off the baton to each other, even if they're not trying to. It's like one runs one leg, and then it's like, okay, this one picks it up. Like, I was just talking about Glorilla and Ice Spice, for example, and how it went, what, Glorilla, Ice Spice, Sexy Red? I think that was the order. And they could have been on the, what is it called? Relays. They could have been on a relay team handing off the baton, and we're just waiting to see which one of the big dogs is going to play anchor and bring it in.
And to your point, what you've been preaching for months now, we need a ladies' night 2.0.
We do. And so maybe, what not Urban Spinster, shout out to you, Urban Spinster, maybe what Lotto is doing with her Sunday service song with the hit list of the girls on the back. I know people are looking for beef, but maybe that'll be the start to that. I cannot believe that as many female artists as there are currently, no one has tried to get them all on a posse track. And maybe not all, but at least 4. We've seen the duets. Why not 3 or 4? We need another Brandy I Want to Be Down remix.
I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of politics in the game.
Of course
it is. The game seems more political now than it did back then. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Here's the thing, and to your point, it probably is politics. But at the same time, this is chess. And yeah, we know beefs get you attention, but so do unifications and camps and things of that nature. Keep changing it up, ladies, because it's getting stale. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Environmental justice is racial justice.
Environmental justice is social justice.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So we mentioned the City Girls really quickly, and I told you JT dropped a new single. She also showed some support for Nicki Minaj yesterday. She tweeted out, "I salute Nicki Minaj for not tapping out and still dropping music, knowing it's so many odds against her. It's big money to end Nicki, but it's a bigger God. Keep being you. Your legacy will never be undone. I love you, Nicki Minaj." So fans are like, why is JT being Nicki's lapdog? Obviously, people are taking sides and lining up. You're either Team Megan or Team Nicki, and never the two shall cross. I guess a lot of the bad attitudes are on Team Nicki. I'm joking, but, you know, the unfriendly hotties, I guess. It is interesting, though, that there's a rapper, I think her name is Cleopatra. She's on the Impact, which is the BET Plus series, and she had a lot of viral videos that were going viral on social media. She would do pronunciations and spelling and things of that nature. And she's good friends with Ice Spice. And as I mentioned to you, Ice Spice was throwing out shots on X the other day. And so she said to her fans, stop asking me about that and stop putting me in the middle of it. And I think that's a very valid point. Like, I know, and it's been alluded to, that Nicki Minaj might be the type of friend to make you choose. Like, okay, if you're down with me, you cannot be down with Cardi or Megan or whatever. But as just the listening audience, do you have to take a side? Is it really that deep? I really think that standum is messing people up. And what it really is just an excuse because we not happy right now. So people are looking for escapes because I don't understand, to your point that you made earlier, Andy, why some of this beef is so deep. Like, and not just from the artists, because I understand artists are sensitive, there's egos and things that like that, but why are the fans so knee deep in it to the point that they're doing illegal things like doxing people because they said, I don't like the song? That's crazy to me. A stranger?
Because these individuals don't have lives of themselves. They living vicariously through them.
And that is just sad to me. And I feel like it's becoming worse. Like they literally take it as an attack on them personally if you are not interested in their artist of choice. And they don't think it's anything wrong with it. So God bless them. Good luck with that. Listen, I mentioned that we had a couple of sports stories. A little bit. Shout out to Steph Curry for dropping 60 the other night. Shout out to the Lakers for taking down the New York Knicks on the Garden floor in New York City on Saturday night. All the big names were in the building to watch the hoops happen. And I saw a cute moment on social media, so I wanted to shout this out. Mekhi Curtis, he is the star of the Stars hit show, Raising Kanan, Power Book 3. And he had a cute moment, a sweet interaction, I should say, with Magic Johnson, where Magic Johnson came up to him and was like, I'm such a big fan of yours. I'm such a fan of the show. And Mekhi couldn't believe it. Mekhi plays Kanan, a young Kanan, the character that 50 Cent made famous in the original Power series. And so it was a very sweet moment, and it shows that, even in all of the rhetoric, even in all the vibrato, the younger generation still does respect acknowledgement from their elders. So I thought that was nice. Cheryl Lynn. I talked about Encore having a resurgence a couple weeks ago on TikTok. We talked about Auntie Cheryl allegedly saying Megan Thee Stallion could sample her anytime she liked. Well, as I mentioned, we came to find out that the Cheryl Lynn Twitter, which no longer exists, was fake. Not only was it fake, the person behind it was doing business as Miss Cheryl Lynn. And the only reason, people were becoming suspicious because, I guess, as things were growing in space, the account seemed a little more erratic, especially if you were, I guess, talking to them behind the scenes. But not that it was a man operating as Cheryl Lynn, not that he accidentally exposed his email address when reaching out to a DJ, asking the DJ to send a custom blend that he made for her. To your point, Andy, what happened to hobbies? What happened to, just going outside and enjoying things? I love trending topics. I love social media and all of that. But some of you guys, y'all gotta breathe, right? Really, seriously. So let me tell you where you can start. Of course, we are your election information station here at KBLA Talk 1580. And what I want you to do is to make sure to head over to KBLA1580.com and check out the results of our very first political poll of likely black voters in LA County. It is going to give you an idea of what your community is thinking about, where their concerns are, what they're looking to do in the upcoming election. We have a lot of decisions to make. We have a lot of questions as far as LA and LA County and the direction that we're headed in. And this is going to help you at least get an understanding of the other concerns of your peers, of those around you, right? So there's a wide open LA County District Attorney's race. You can go check up on that, see what your fellow constituents are thinking about, what their concerns are. There's also the black community's views on crime, criminal justice, and other key issues that aren't being addressed by the current DA. I shouldn't say that, by the DA's candidates. That's a better way. So make sure that you hit that up. And while you're there, right, you can fill out our climate justice survey. Understand, follow the path. We are checking into the areas that are really important for you as our listeners, things that are affecting your day-to-day life, the things that you are really concerned about. And you know why that is? Because we have your black here at KBLA Talk 1580, and there's no other talk radio station in Southern California that is going to cover this election like we do. So stay locked in. Come here to get all the facts, all the information, interviews. You know, we got you. Make sure. So appreciate you for taking in that moment. Listen. I always say listen. Keke Palmer and her baby's daddy are still going through drama, right? Really quickly, Darius shared, that's the baby's daddy's name, that, you know, his experience has been very trying for him. And he said that for those who don't have kids, this is something that I will emphasize to my son. Wait till marriage and make sure God is at the center of your relationship. You think? But, you know, not too much judgment. I won't say no judgment at all, but not too much judgment. I understand things happen, but he also took it further. When I tell you that they make men go through hoops when it comes to seeing their own kids, then they have the audacity to throw the fatherless home statistics all in your face, let alone make you feel honored to get any type of time with your own child. Darius, buddy, listen. Handle business. You could be co-parenting on a much nicer level, but you chose to wild out. I don't know. Not really in your business. I hope it gets situated. But what I can tell you, Darius, is that going to the internet has not been your friend throughout this whole situation, circumstance. Maybe you should give that up. That might be of some help. He also said, I feel for the dads that gave up when it came to custody. It's mentally, emotionally, and physically draining. You'll lose yourself. My spirit is too strong to give up, but I totally understand. I have pondered it. Thank God I have an amazing circle. Too many Ahabs have given these Jezebels a voice and a platform to call the shots. A lot of weak men. I once was a weak man. You spending your life being miserable as a weak man, looking for approval that you'll never get. Not looking for sympathy either. Trust me, I've seen enough of society to not want anyone else's approval. I actually gotta learn to love y'all. And he closed it out with, and for those that expect me to ever speak on anything, that's for my family's private matter. Yes, it's still my family. I share a soul with this person. You can do your own research and make your own judgment. I think you just spoke on it, Darius. I don't know. Maybe. A little bit. Listen, thanks for locking in with RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580 tonight. Remember, we have more trending topics and headlines for you all this week. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you're locked in. We're going to get into that 21 Savage scamming, allegedly, those two Twitchers out of about $500,000. It's a lot of money. Plus, more stories, more trending topics and headlines. We also have some interviews coming up for you this week. So make sure that you are right back here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Pacific time. Have an amazing night when we come forward, the best of KBLA.